fortress? Is that like a fortress of fluff?
I wish it was. In reality, it is just a single blanket, but a girl can dream.
Sorry, I accidentally had the heating on for like 6 hours at the other night. So now I'm very much like, I need to not use it for like a week to offset all the money I've spent.
I remember one time when I went to Rick's parents for Christmas, rather than turn the thermostat all the way down, I turned it all the way up.
Oh
so
no!
It was on for like a week at full blast. So when we got back in the flat, it was like so warm. Like, oh no, what did I do? So I'm glad I haven't done that recently.
That's it. I was going to say, could you imagine how much that would cost you? In the current climate.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Stu's gone black.
Oh.
Yeah.
He hasn't turned his camera back on.
There we go.
Rude.
Welcome back. Asta, I will give you that webcam on Wednesday. I forgot this Wednesday, and then I was actually in Swindon last night. I went to the cinema to watch The Menu. Really good film, by the way. I recommend it. Some good names in it.
Oh yeah, the trailer looked interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I didn't understand what it was about, which was a novelty.
No, it's nice. It's a bit psychological. It's kind of a thriller.
Tell me anything.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to spoil anything. What I will say, it's got Anya Taylor-Joy in it. It's got Ray Fiennes. Really, really fun little film. I really enjoyed it. Very recommended. But yeah, and then as I was on my way back from the cinema, I realised, oh shit, I could have dropped this bloody camera off faster. But it's all good. I'll get it to you on Wednesday.
All right. I will drop you a message Tuesday night to remind you to put it in your bag or your car or whatever.
It hasn't left the car since I got it. But if you can do that anyway, that'd be great. Just so it's in my head. Oh dear.
Put it in your dice bag.
I could put it in my dice bag. Could. Except I don't... Yeah, I could. I could, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't have a dice bag. I have a little dice box. There wouldn't be room for a webcam in it. Actually. There we go. Anyway, welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm your GM for this game and for many others. I'm joined by Stu.
Hello.
I'm joined by Amy.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Asta.
Hello.
Hello. Everybody have a good little break there? Everyone feeling refreshed, ready to go for some more adventure?
Well, I spent the whole thing just messaging, responding to messages, and then I saw Amy come back on the thing. I thought, shit, I've got 2 minutes to go, and I haven't topped up my drink or anything.
I did something similar. I was frantically trying to find a monster swap for something that's coming up in the next part, and then I glanced at the clock. I was like, oh bollocks, we're back on in 3 minutes. So I ran and made a coffee. I think I got here just like a minute or so after we were supposed to start again, but it's all good. I'm here, we're all here. I have coffee. Good to go a little bit longer, I think. How are we feeling, folks? How we doing in 20 Side Land?
I'm glad we were rescued somewhat. I think that was going to go a bit messy.
Yeah, but I will put my hands up and say I may have overcooked that encounter a tiny bit. I didn't quite realise they were going to decimate you quite so much. I tell you what though, it's really interesting. Kind of exactly how much of an impact that Otto has had on the game up to this point, because up until now, I've honestly had no qualms about throwing trolls and stuff at you, because you've got Otto there, your resident pyromaniac, who can just shut down all that regeneration. But as soon as you take that away, you guys can't deal with it. It's really interesting.
And I'm running out of torches.
That's it.
I'm finding it interesting. Alwyn doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as what I feel he should. And I'm using a +1 striking rapier, but because he's got little strength to speak of.
That's it. Unfortunately, because you're adding strength to you add strength to the damage roll rather than dex, that's quite a big drop off, isn't it?
Need to start lifting some weights.
Need to do something. Maybe turn it into a +1 greater striking rapier.
Just throw money at it until the problem's fixed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what Stu is proposing.
You know, I had a phrase when I was young, which I still stand by to this day. There is no problem so big that you can't beat it to death with a big enough bag of money.
Very true. Very, very true. However, I will say you are a way away from getting a greater striking rapier. It's going to be a while before you get one of those.
Yeah, okay.
Mostly because it's going to cost you 3,000 gold. That's a minimum.
Check how much. Yeah, there's a little way.
Yeah, Owen's there going 1, 2, 3. Alright, okay. What's been going on, folks? What situation do we find ourselves in? What's just happened? Does anybody remember what happened last week?
I recapped last time.
Anybody at all?
And Stu's eating. We're recording, Stu. You're meant to be a professional. You can't defend yourself because you're eating.
Last week, Overcooked Combat nearly got decimated. Chardonnay face planted the floor. And people started blowing up with alchemy fire. And we started running away.
That's it. That's actually pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Why were you running away? What's the goal here, Raiden? Or Asta, sorry.
Raiden's still a little bit squiffy on that account. She's just following these maniacs.
It does make you wonder what the alternative is for Raiden. That she's just like, these guys are the best option I have right now. I'm just going to run around with them until something good happens.
Yeah, makes you wonder what's gone wrong in her life that these guys are her only option. What's brought you to this point? Well...
Lots of bad life choices.
To save the world. I mean, what greater, more nobler task can there be than that?
You're putting an awful lot of faith in the idea that Raiden is in any way noble.
I mean, we know she's not evil, so that's...
Well, she says she's not.
Nearly killed Chardonnay by account of trying to help. So.
Yeah. Again, that, you know... Recall knowledge is a thing you can do. Those extra actions that you're not doing anything with, just maybe see if you can think of anything, because often stuff like those kind of abilities you can learn through recall knowledge checks. So
that is a thing I forget exists, to be honest.
Yeah. So to be fair, you're not alone. The entire party has been forgetting them for most of the duration of this podcast.
Okay,
yeah.
So you said most of the duration. I was about to comment.
Yeah.
Excuse me. No. Yeah, and I've run out of actions. That's my thing, because I always want to raise my shield, do some healing, draw my weapon, command Chardonnay.
Owen needs like 4 turns. Owen needs like 4 turns to do 1 turn's worth of stuff.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's it. That's it, and that's before I've even moved.
Cool. All right. Well, without dragging this out any more than I already have, I think we should just get straight back into the game. Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did end on quite the cliffhanger.
We did. Refresh us, Stu. What was the cliffhanger? What was the very last thing that happened?
Maori's sister, I want to say, Yala? No. Yasha, thank you, has led away the Winter Guard who are guarding the entrance to this forest I was very, very concerned about that because, like, too many good innocent people are going to die. This is not. We've got to make this worthwhile. We have to. Yeah, they've led them away, giving us an opening into this forest, so we can get to the hut, Baba Yaga's hut, and chuck the stuff in the cauldron. I'm going to hold up my hand here, Dom. I can remember what 2 of the items. There's 3 items, aren't there?
No, there's only 2.
There's only 2. Right. Thank God for that, because I could only remember what 2 of them were. And I've been panicking, thinking, shit, it's going to say, like, right, what items do you throw into the cauldron? I'm like, well, here's 2 of them.
Just dumps his pack into that. It's all in there, I'm sure.
Chuck a doll in? I mean, you know.
Yeah. What are those 2 items, out of curiosity?
There is a plague mask and a lock of hair.
A lock of frost giant hair, yes, which both have been soaked in the blood of the Black Rider.
Yes.
Nice.
Matavius?
Yeah, that was his surname. What was his surname?
Mr. Matavius.
Mr. Matavius. Mr. Matavius. I think you'll find that's Dr. Matavius to you.
Yeah.
No. So he's definitely Mr. It's definitely Mr. Matavius, although his first name exists as well. If you remember that at any point, feel free to use it. Yes. So, with the aid of your allies from the Heralds of Summer's Return and their kind of allies of convenience in White Throne's former Iron Guard, the guard force who were replaced during Elvana's coup, you have successfully created quite a big distraction. You can hear that there are the sounds of battle erupting from all around the city, presumably as small skirmishes like the one you just evaded erupt and start happening. As you run down the street towards the forest, with Mari's sister Yasha drawing away the last of the guard in front of you. You hear a thud and a smash and a loud cheer from behind you as you see that. You hear the sound of breaking glass. And you look around and you can see that this mob of hooded and cloaked figures appear to have gotten the best of one of the mirror men who accosted you originally, and you can see the other one is now turning on its heel and is beginning to retreat. Ahead of you, perhaps as you're running down the street, perhaps 50 feet in front of you, there is this thick line of trees that has engulfed the market square itself. You can see that in addition to the trees themselves, there looks to be almost a wall of very thick briar that runs around the very edge of the tree line. You can see ahead of you that there is a gap that leads presumably deeper into the forest. Agents of Chaos, what would you like to do?
Armin's going to hold his rapier aloft and say, "Quick, into the forest! I'll give you all some quick healing once we're safely in there, but let's take the chance," and start running forward.
All right.
Yeah, right on
Do the
follow.
same. Charge.
Yeah, the four of you rush into the forest. As you sort of get to this entrance, you do find that not all of the Winter Guard have fully cleared out. You can see that there are two kind of regular rank and file Winter Guardsmen just standing by the entrance to this forest. But with blistering speed, the four of you just rush rush towards them, break through the line, and disappear into the forest. And you hear that these Winter Guard, they follow you a short distance, but after only perhaps sort of 60 to 80 feet, you hear them stop and them slow, and whoever's at the, I think Della would hear this actually. I think you have the best perception. You hear these guards sort of stop and talk to each other briefly. Hey, stop! I don't want to go in there. Let the forest have him. And yeah, you hear his comrade agrees, and they don't seem to pursue you any further. You find yourselves, as you break into the forest properly, the sky above you like completely disappears. Like you find yourselves fully enclosed in this sort of dark forest area. You can see the shops and the homes of the merchants' quarter stopped abruptly at this towering wall of evergreens, and the trees part ahead of you to form a winding path that seems to have replaced the sight, all sensation around it. It's like you've stepped through a doorway and you've been trying. It's like you've stepped into Narnia. Like you've walked through this threshold and you're in somewhere completely different. You can't even hear the sounds of battle from within this forest. For the time being, you appear to be in a position of relative safety. What do you guys want to do?
Right, I can do some very, very quick healing on each of us, or we can take some time to do some healing. That'll be perhaps a bit more lasting, but
they're not going to be following us. I think we've got. How long is a long amount of time? Like an hour or 10 minutes? I
either take maybe a minute or I take like an hour, yes.
Yeah, I think a minute is all we've got time for.
Right.
I've got some potions.
Keep those for emergency use. I've got a couple. I'm out of magical healing now for today.
Okay.
But yes, keep hold of your potions. I'd like to go around and do a battle medicine on everyone.
Yeah,
Yay.
Perfect.
In turn.
Yeah, can you have a look at my... I've lost all coordination, Alan.
So I'm going to look at Ryden first, because I think Ryden is the most badly injured out of the crowd. And as a result, I want to do it on a DC 20.
Sure thing.
22.
Ooh.
That was the sound Alwyn used to make when he rolled natural ones and almost killed people whilst trying to heal them.
It was almost a 2.
Okay. So 22 is a success. So we 2d8 plus 10 back to Ryden.
Okay, so here we go. Have yourself 18 points back.
Oh,
Right.
That's fantastic.
Next up, let's have a look at Della. How's Della faring?
I'm about a third of capacity currently.
But that's around 60, so it's around 20 out of...
Again, you guys can be open with your hit points. I don't mind that.
I don't like using numbers.
Third, no, I'm yeah, that's...
You know what I'm at.
Okay, I'm going to do a DC 20 for Della.
Sure.
Natural 20.
Excellent.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
4d8 plus 10 back for Della.
Right. So here goes 1, 2, 2. Oh, and I'm rolling really well. Last dice was a bit crap. Have 30 hit points back, Della.
Wonderful. I feel much better.
I'm going to turn to Amos.
Yeah, sure thing.
How bad is Amos? Feel free to use numbers.
I don't actually know. I don't actually know his hit point max. He is certainly below half.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was around about the same as me. I'm 98 max. So
I'll tell you, he's taken 62 damage to this point.
62. Right, I'm definitely going to do a DC 20 for him. For a total of 23.
Yep, success.
So he gets back 22 hit points.
Very nice, feeling much better.
Is that right? Sorry, no, scratch that. He gets back 19 hit points. Sorry, that's my bad.
That's all right, no problem. Cool, all right. I've just read something really interesting about treat wounds that I didn't know until this point. If you're doing treat wounds, and I assume this is just a regular one, doesn't count for battle medicine. If you succeed on your check, and you then basically treat the patient for a total of an hour, they double the hit points they get back.
Yes, but it's like one person for an entire hour.
Yeah. It's not really relevant for right now, but certainly for future, that's a really interesting thing. I didn't know that.
Well, Alwyn has continual recovery, so that probably trumps it.
Yeah, it almost certainly does, because you can treat people every 10 minutes rather than every hour.
It's useful one for lower levels, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Right, next up is Chardonnay. Alwyn is going to do a lower DC. He's going to do DC 15 for Chardonnay, because he's being a bit more careful. And I'm going to use my hero points because I just rolled a natural 1.
Oh no!
That was the one thing that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Let's try that again. And I've rolled a 2 for 15, so it's a success.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. Now a DC 15, that is 1d8. Is that?
It's 2d8 base.
2d8 base, okay. So Chardonnay gets back 8 hit points.
Very nice.
Let me just add those. And bear with me. Last and very much least, Alwyn is going to do it on himself. And fuck it, he's going to go for a DC 20. I've just had the bad roll, so we've got that out of the way. What can go wrong?
That's the gambler's fallacy right there. I've had the bad luck, so here's the good luck coming now.
Total of 25.
There you go.
It worked.
Regular success. So
2d8 regular success.
Oh, that's a good roll. That's not a bad roll. Total of 23 back. Right.
So just because so the rules on things that say until healed are really quite muddy. So I'm just trying to figure out if this is going to get rid of Della's thing.
Yeah, I don't know if battle medicine counts for that.
Well, do you know what? Because battle medicine, battle medicine. We've gone through this ages before. It counts as treat wounds, but it's not treat wounds. Is that correct?
Use the same DC as for treat wounds.
Yeah, but it's not treat wounds itself.
It does say specifically this does not remove the wounded condition.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to rule that this kind of acts the same way as wounded, in that basically, in order to fix Della's clumsiness, you will either need to take 10 minutes to do treat wounds properly, or you restore her to full health and then she rests for 10 minutes. So either way, you have to take a bit more effort to actually do so.
I think 10 minutes is an okay time, but I don't mind rushing if we think we need to go.
mean, you can see that even after these rounds of healing, although everybody is looking better, Della is still favouring her right arm.
I mean, I can take some time to look at it. It's up to the whole party. The longer we stand still, the more danger we're in. How badly affected are you?
It affects the majority of the things I do. Even I'm right.
You can see Alwyn. All of Della's movements are unusually stiff.
Right. Okay, Amos and Ryden, if you don't mind keeping watch, I'm going to take a few minutes to do a treat wounds. I'm going to do it at the lower DC of 15, just to be safe. And I'm going to use ward medic to do it to both Della and Chardonnay, because Chardonnay's got the wounded condition.
Okay.
So, here goes. It was almost a 1 again, but it's 7 for 20.
You are getting these rolls today, man. Bloody hell.
I know, right? Oh.
The skin of your teeth.
Getting them out of the way.
There you go.
But unless anything happens in those 10 minutes to disturb us, both Della and Chardonnay get back 11 hit points and can remove those conditions.
Yeah, so as in that in that time, you do take a look at Della's shoulder. It seems like it's rather than like a muscle damage, it seems to be like a very slight dislocation just in the shoulder socket. So you sort of you get Della to grit her teeth, and over the course of 10 minutes, you're able to set it and sort of take down any residual swelling, that kind of thing. Yeah, after 10 minutes, Della, you find the full range of motion return to your arm. You are no longer clumsy.
Woo! Let's delete that.
Meanwhile, as that happens, Ryden and Amos are obviously out keeping watch. Ryden, could you roll I'm speaking slowly, drawing it out whilst I find my table.
Building tension.
Could you roll a D100 for me?
Sure. That is 10.
10. Okay. So as you take this time to patch yourselves up, to set Della's arm, and to get yourselves back to being fighting fit, nothing disturbs you across these 10 minutes. You can see the path stretches deeper into the forest ahead of you. What do you wish to do?
Could I, maybe during those 10 minutes while keeping watch and such, try and figure out how much I know about the forest?
Sure, absolutely. So, are you doing anything particular to... So what I'll tell you kind of on its base level, you know that this forest is not normally a feature of Whitethrone. Normally, this area that you're in is the market square, where the bulk of sort of day-to-day trade happens. There was never a forest here until Elvana launched her coup and captured Baba Yaga's dancing hut. She placed the hut on display in the center of the market square, and it was bound there with these massive iron shackles to prevent it from escaping or causing damage or that kind of thing. A couple of days after the hut was placed here, this forest sprang up out of nowhere. It is suspected that the forest is some kind of defense mechanism by the hut itself. To get any more information than that, you'll need to be a bit more specific in what you're asking.
I think with potentially some of the knowledge she's picked up over the years, I'd like to try and figure out if Ryden knows a way to almost appease the magic of the area to make their passage easier. If it helps, she has lore on hags.
Okay. Lore, hag lore. I tell you what, this would probably be... I think this would probably be occultism, actually.
Okay. Please be a good roll. That's a very good roll. That is a 33.
33, okay. So, knowing what you know about the forest itself, about how it came into existence, this desire, and certainly with that role Ryden, you know that Baba Yaga's dancing hut is an incredibly powerful artifact. It allows Baba Yaga to travel the plains on almost a whim. It can transport her to basically anywhere she ever wishes to go. As part of that, because of how powerful this artifact is, if this forest has been created by the hut as a defense mechanism, the only way really to relax it or make it easier to pass through is probably to appeal to the hut directly.
Okay.
And sort of convince it that you mean it no harm, that kind of thing.
Once Alwyn has finished his treatment of Della and Chardonnay, I will relay that to the rest of the group as a potential course of action.
Okay. Right. That's really interesting. It sounds like you're the ideal person to lead the way on that. I've got some things here, actually, that might be more use to you, Ryden, than the rest of us. Alwyn will get a number of scrolls out from his backpack and hand Ryden the following. Asta, do you have a pencil and paper ready?
I always do.
Excellent.
Asta is master scribe amongst our Wednesday group.
There are 2 scrolls of comprehend language. 1 scroll of mirror sight, 2 scrolls of dispel magic, and 1 scroll of threefold aspect.
Okay.
And do you have any healing potions on you at all?
Sadly not.
He will also hand you a minor healing potions. You don't either, Della.
No, I've got a few. I can give you. I've got a spare of a lesser one. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Better than the minor. Is it better than the minor? Hang on.
Mine is like the base, the very base one.
Alvin will keep hold of his minor one then.
Yeah, have a nice big one, just in case. I'm sure we won't need it.
Thank you both for your generosity.
I'm fairly sure. I know you won't know. I'm fairly sure Amos has got a potion from when we previously sort of shared them out for.
I'm assuming that Darren's got all that stuff tracked because I've got no idea.
I hope he has anyway. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so yeah, you've taken this time. Ryden has racked her brains a little bit about this place you're going into. So yeah, you sort of take your 10 minutes. You're not disturbed as you tend to the party's injuries, and then yeah, that time passes, and you find yourselves in a better position to continue. What do you all wish to do?
Which way do we go? Just towards the middle?
So currently there is there's really only one path. You have obviously you could turn back, which would take you presumably back toward the entrance where you came in, or the path currently continues deeper into the forest. You can see that the path itself is also lined with this very thick, very sharp looking briar. That's actually, Della, with your high perception, you do notice that as you look at it, it seems to shift and move a little bit.
Ooh, creepy forest.
Creepy forest.
Well, what do they say all paths lead to?
Your doom.
Off to our doom, then.
Oh, you don't want to go taking that path. That path's dark path.
Okay. Also, on top of that, I will add that this forest is incredibly dark. Like, there is almost no light from outside. There's a faint glimmer of sort of haze and gloom that permeates the forest itself, but there is no natural light as far as you can see. So any of you who don't have dark vision, which I think is most of you, unless you do something about that, you are currently struggling to see.
I will.
Would you like a rave hat again?
Yeah! That is way better than fire. I think because the branches are moving, I don't really want to set fire to anything that seems dangerous, but yes, rave hat.
I will reach up, tap Della's hat, and it will begin to emit a nice, pleasant, pinkish purple light.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Della throws some shapes.
Yeah. Make a performance check.
Ah, yes. Maybe not. Della got 8 plus 19.
19. The shapes are okay.
Yeah.
They're not
You
amazing.
can tell that they were shapes.
They can tell that they were shapes.
Isn't it the
still
standard in Pathfinder that 10 is like average?
That's for your ability scores. That's not necessarily for skill checks. So Della throws some shapes. It's still early in the night. She hasn't quite got into a groove yet. But another couple of drinks, and I'm sure she'll get there. Anyway, yeah. So you with your light source established, and obviously this hat is now casting these long, elongated shadows of yourselves across the trees and stuff. And you progress further deeper into the forest, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, so you progress a bit further. You progress on into the forest, and after perhaps a couple of minutes of walking, you see the path ahead of you. Whilst still remaining covered from the sky ahead of you, you see the path begins to widen, and you find yourselves coming into a clearing of sorts. But as mentioned, the canopy of this forest still stretches across the sky and blocks most of it. Though you do get faint wisps of cloud-covered sunlight breaking through in tiny patches here and there in this section of the forest. You come to this. I say, for lack of a better word, you come to a clearing, and you see at this point the path appears to branch off in a number of directions. You see that this quite large clearing continues quite a way ahead of you, leading off into gloom and into darkness. and you can see that off to your left and to your right, you can see there are other pathways that lead off into again deeper off into the forest. As you're standing there, you sort of look and you listen just for any kind of clue as to what you might find down these paths. Off to the left, you can hear. Off to the left, you can hear. You can hear the sound of water, of gently running water. And off to the right, you can see a little way, perhaps 100, maybe 150 feet, off and around a corner. You can see hang on, sorry, just to read something. What's that then? Oh, that's up there. Okay. So actually, the only thing you see and hear, you hear the off down this path to the left. You hear the sound of faintly running water. To the north and to the east, the trees just stretch off into darkness. What do you all wish to do?
Do you know what we need to do, Alwyn, to get there? Or?
No. Alwyn's going to look at Ryden.
Anything in my knowledge of how to traverse this place?
I think at the very least you would know that certainly where the hut was placed in the square, it was kind of placed in the centre of the square, and you know that you've approached kind of from the south. So the centre of the market square where the hut is most likely somewhere to the north. However, in terms of which path you need to take to get there, you've got no idea. You've never been in this forest.
Okay. Well, as far as I know, from where we entered, it should be a direct north to it, but the idea of running straight into the darkness is a little foreboding. Maybe we check to see what that water source is first, in case it has any meaning for us. Maybe a path to follow that would be lesser danger.
Sounds good to me. Oh, and Ryden, a couple of quick questions, if I may. I've been thinking about what you said about the hut and sort of appeasing it and showing it that we're friends. Any ideas on a practical level how we might do that? And do we want to do it before we get there, or like from here, or wait until we're up to it, or?
I mean, from my brief understanding, the forest may be a natural extension of the hut itself and its power, so it may be able to hear us from here. Maybe, I don't know, how's your singing voice?
Singing? Bloody awful.
I can try.
I mean, maybe try and sing it a very nice song about how we're trying to bring its mistress back.
That actually leads to my second question. So Baba Yaga, because you're familiar with the city and you know its people, we're looking at bringing Baba Yaga back. Is Baba Yaga a good witch?
Are they evil?
I mean, yes. Basically, yes. I mean, are we actually doing the right thing here? It's a question we haven't asked until now, and I'm thinking maybe we perhaps should have scratched the surface of that a little more, but...
Well, it sounds strange to me that you haven't yet asked this question, Alwyn.
Well, you haven't either.
You mean you hadn't previously asked to ask if she's evil? I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult to myself.
It's a compliment that I felt comfortable enough to ask.
I mean, that's a difficult question for me to answer. I think it's a matter of perspective, really, don't you?
No. I mean, slavery is evil, and torturing people is evil, and curtailing freedoms is very, very evil.
I mean, she dumped a city on another city and took over. Make of that what you will.
Sounds like most rulers on the planet, to be honest.
And I mean, is that natural expansion or enforcing power that you shouldn't have? It is a matter of perspective whether you like it or not, really. I mean, the question is, was it better without Ilvana about?
Well, I suppose that's the question. Are we looking at a case of the best of two evils, or the worst of two evils, or are we looking at good versus evil?
In my opinion, it's the better of two evils.
Right.
But that is just my opinion.
Yeah, and I think not to squash your lovely conversation there, but I think Alwyn, although he's not that bright, I think he's bright enough to realise that obviously whilst Baba Yaga was here, although she was perhaps oppressive to the people of Irison, her affairs, her interests, her attention was very much focused solely on Irison itself, whereas Elvana wants to spread that across the rest of the known world.
Right. And of course, if we bring back Baba Yaga, she's going to owe us a big favour, and maybe we can get her to be less oppressive.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You can try.
You can certainly try. I will be several steps behind you when you do.
Maybe she's mellowed out a little bit after all this time.
You know, from what I've seen, most people that have been forcibly locked away somewhere that they don't want to be don't generally mellow. They tend to get worse. So, maybe as well as a practical application of appeasing the dancing hut, maybe it's time to start thinking of a practical application of appeasing her as well. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, liberating her seems to be a good plan for that.
Just certainly a good step.
Right. Let's go look at this water.
Right. So you head off to the west in order to investigate this source of flowing water. Sorry, I haven't drunk enough water today. I think I'm going to have a sore throat tomorrow. Mind. Okay, so you take the westerly path out of this small clearing, and you quickly find yourselves back in the tree tunnel, for lack of a better word, as the trees reaffirm their thickness as they do so, and again you're walking for perhaps less than a minute at this point, and you come to another clearing. Again, clearing implies that it's open to sky. You're still covered by the canopy here, so that's not accurate. However, I don't have a better word in my lexicon, so that's what I'm going to use. You come to a clearing ahead of you. You can see perhaps 80 feet across. There is another tunnel another tree tunnel that appears to wind off into darkness to the north. But what is more interesting, as you get to this point, you immediately find the source of the sound of the running water. You can see that there is a large pool of strange, almost silvery water standing in a pool in the centre. And you can see that this pool itself is rippling. These gentle ripples begin at the outermost edges of the water at the shoreline, and they gently make their way inwards to a single point where they coalesce into a drop of water, and the drop of water rises off the surface of the lake and rises into the sky, disappearing from sight. And you can see that as this is happening across the entire surface of the water, as basically reverse raining is kind of what's happening here. You can make out that there are snowflakes gently drifting downwards between the water droplets, and a brisk bracing wind rustles through the trees as you enter. And as you're taking in this, really quite tranquil, quite pretty sight, you notice that stood in the centre of this water, with a shoulder hunched and their head cocked at a crooked angle, you see what appears to be, as you look at this individual standing before you, you can see that they appear vaguely elven in features. You see they have very long pointed ears. As the head is cocked back towards you, you can see their eyes are both a solid white and glitter like opals set in a piece of jewelry. As you look at them, it's hard to tell anything about what gender they might have, if they have any at all. Their features are very androgynous. Their build is slight, and their body is covered in this looks to be a single piece of flowing silk that wraps around their body in white colour, transitioning to blue at the bottom where it meets the water, and it eventually seems to form the water itself where it makes contact. And you see this individual standing there, and you can hear them saying, "Drip, drip, drip. Drip away, little world. Drip away, drip away." What do you do?
Hello, it's all right, we're friendly.
Drip, drip, drip. Ah, little droplets here to drip away like the rest. Welcome. Drip, drip, drip.
Thank you. Always wondered how the water gets in the sky before it rains. Fascinating.
Drip away, little lost water droplets. Siphon to the sky to return. Ah. Drip, drip away.
Right, we'll leave you to it. Can we sort of walk round past, or
drip, drip, drip away. Go where you wish, little droplets. It will not. It does not matter, for in the end we all will drip, drip away.
Okay, thank you. Is there a path around?
Yes, there does look to be a small sort of 5-foot path between the edge of the water and the edge of the trees. You can quite easily, not 5 foot, probably closer to 10 feet between the shore and the tree line. You can quite easily walk around if you wish.
Okay, I will start walking.
Yeah. Anybody want to do anything different?
I'll follow your lead.
Following, but not quite taking eyes off of the entity at the middle of this water.
As you're walking around the lake, and particularly Ryden, as you're looking at this creature, it's very, very strange. As you're walking around, the best way I can describe it is, as you're walking around, they pivot, so they're always looking at you. But in doing so, they don't appear to move. If that makes sense.
Yep. That's kind of horrific.
Yeah, and again, as you're walking around, you hear this individual just once again just softly singing to nobody in particular. Drip, drip away, drip away, drip away, little drops. Drip away, till the world is whole again. Drip away, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, you make your way round the edge of the lake where this rain is sort of falling upwards from the surface, and you come to the northern passage that leads away from this pool of water. What's your marching order here, folks?
I think Alwyn will be at the front.
Alwyn's at the front, okay.
Ryden probably right at the back, because she was just sort of ogling.
Yeah. And as you ogle Ryden, this individual in the centre of the water, they don't say anything else to you. They just kind of watch you as you make your way around. They don't come any closer. They don't get any further away. They just watch you as you leave. It seems like they like to watch. There we go. So as you make your way around, okay, so you're making your way north through the northern passage. Alwyn, make a perception check for me as you're moving forwards.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So Alwyn, as you're stepping forwards, as the four of you move away from the water behind you, perhaps still a little unsettled by what you've seen, you attempt to focus your attention forwards, and as you're walking forwards, Alwyn, you feel something snag on your ankle, and you hear a crack and a rumble, and you watch as two trees either side of the path begin to topple towards you, and that is where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh!
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Fools. Music by Alexander Nakarada and editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Discord by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
Ewoks. That's what it
Fucking
is.
Ewoks, that's it.
No.
Oh, that was pretty creepy. But as far as I was concerned, that's how rain happens.
That's
You
it.
know, how would he know better?
He's just had a learning experience.
Oh dear.
Well, it didn't seem malevolent or anything. Just creepy.
I mean, you didn't
Should have
ask.
asked. Yeah.
Didn't ask.
Should have asked.
Obviously not that comfortable with the entity. See.
Just because the artwork for this creature is glorious, I'm going to send it to you on WhatsApp so you can see what you just saw.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very nice artwork. Very creepy creature.
Very creepy indeed.
Didn't Ryden's eyes turn that colour when she controlled the weather and brought down lightning on a mirror man?
Yes. They have turned back, I should.
Oh, yeah, I gathered that.
Just making sure.
But just another, supporting argument for Alwyn's thinking, oh, it's clearly someone doing the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that awkward little conversation about if what we're doing is right now that we're on the cusp of doing it.
Yeah.
Better to ask before we do it than afterwards. Alwyn is learning some things.
Not many things, but some things.
Some things. Trouble is, every time he learns a new thing, something else falls out.
That's it. He's only got space. He's only got inventory space for 10 thoughts, and every time he has a new one, he'll get rid of the old ones.
Yeah. Got to be careful.
That's it. Because that's how learning works.